All right, everybody, welcome back to the DealGen podcast. I'm Joe Zanka, the host and managing partner at DealGen Partners. The show is sponsored by DealGen Partners. What DealGen Partners does is we provide turnkey deal origination services for private equity buyers and strategic buyers. So we go out to the market and we originate deals and increase your likelihood of closing deals by 10x. All right, so cold outreach is something that powers a lot of what we do.
Huge
something
part.
That's a huge topic sometimes on, when you go on LinkedIn, you see people talking about what they do. You see people complaining all the time about what's being done to them, and how people are just hitting them in their messages all the time, and we get it more than as much as anybody else. But we, I think it would be a good time to sit, just talk quickly about some of the things that work and some of the things that don't, because we've tried everything. We've tried everything for ourselves. We've done this on behalf of clients. We've done this on behalf of people who are doing all sorts of different types of businesses.
Right.
And there's basically, it boils down to, there's ways that you should do it. There's ways that you shouldn't do it. There's folks that should do it. There's other businesses that should do it in a different way. And there's different ways of offering it, within the style and the copy that stick out more than others. And
so what are like what's the first thing that comes to mind with like how we do a change we made that gave us a lot of success?
Yeah. So I think being multi-channel was huge.
Definitely.
I think that in the world that we live in right now, there's a lot of ways to automate things, and the businesses that are doing it the best, I think are seeing the benefits of doing that. But you've always heard, traditional sales, you got to contact somebody 7 to 10 times to actually get their attention. And the way that we've gone about doing it, rather than picking up the phone and doing one cold call, or rather than sending one-off, LinkedIn messages into the abyss, or cold emailing someone once and then doing it again 6 months later, we've done this multi-touch approach where, you bake in a similar message and a similar theme across what you're reaching out about. But you do it on every channel. So you do it, you may hit them with a couple of emails, then you may hit them with a LinkedIn connection, then you may hit them with a LinkedIn message saying, hey, I sent you an email, happy we could connect here too. And then, you could even bake in other things where it's a phone call, or now, there are tools out there that you can voicemail people without even having them pick up the phone. And
which has been a great return for us.
It's been an awesome return. And we had our doubts about it at the beginning, but we're starting to see people call you back. And a lot of it, the reason why it works is because you are being multi-channel, but the multi-channel thing doesn't matter unless what you're saying is relevant. So I wouldn't mind asking you, what's the difference in what some people say versus, or what we're saying now versus maybe what we've said in the past in other instances?
Yeah. So I think from a structure standpoint, the one thing we've seen is shorter messages are better, right? People don't want to read an essay. They want to know, why are you contacting me? Pretty much everybody's, when you're sending someone an email or on LinkedIn, you're trying to do business. So let's talk about business. We don't have to, hey, how's your kids, on a LinkedIn message. So a short and sweet message on who you are, what you do, why you're reaching out is incredibly important. And then another thing we've seen is in the offer, like the offer and the ask. What are we offering someone and what are we asking them in return? And with our offer, it's, I want to buy your company, right? Which is a pretty damn powerful offer. And I really don't think we've found one better that people are more receptive to talking about. Right. But then okay, not everybody's buying businesses. So what if you're a marketing agency running Amazon management or Facebook ads or whatever? You can offer, hey, I'll do a free account audit of your Facebook ads account or your Amazon ads account and tell you how you can improve without you ever paying me a dime. Well, now you've caught their attention, and now you can ask them for something in return, right? All I ask is that you'll give us access, give me an hour to talk to you about it. And if you like what you hear, we'll take it from there. So I think that offer and the ask, you have to have a little feel in that too. The other thing that kind of touches on, the multi-channel outreach, but also in the messaging is the more you make it seem like a human interaction and not an automation, the more receptive people are going to be.
Right.
So when you get that connection request from someone and you accept and you immediately get a message, right? We started delaying that message by 24, 48 hours, and our response rate skyrocketed because most people aren't sitting there on their LinkedIn waiting for you to accept and then immediately sending you a message. You know,
Right,
it's
right.
not a text message where everybody's attached to their phone. So creating that delay was almost a human element where now they think, oh, this guy actually looked at my profile. He learned about me after I connected, and then they sent me this message. That was also a big separator,
Yeah.
you know.
Some
But
people send 5 messages in a row, you
yeah,
know?
like you got to have some feel too. And we get people that tell us to fuck off and I don't ever want to talk to you and I know this is automated and this is bullshit and blah blah blah. Okay, it's one out of literally 10,000, you know.
Right.
But when you do it with the right cadence at the right timing with the right offer and the right ask, I mean, we've uncovered $100 million companies for sale through cold messages to public companies, people that have
Yeah.
no business answering this thing, you
Right.
know? And it's the offer and it's the way you go about it. And the multi-channel thing is key. I think too many people test one thing and say, "Nah, LinkedIn doesn't work." Well, you're writing me 4 paragraphs. You're sending 4 messages one day in a row after each other. You're just annoying the hell out of people.
Right.
You know, you're not
Right.
providing any value to them.
I think LinkedIn works and everything works too is if, you really understand why, like, the purpose of why you're doing it. If you have a reason to reach out, which is, hey, we're looking to buy businesses, you seem to fit the profile. Let's have a conversation. That could be a conversation that could be had at any time. You know
Right.
what I mean? There's no like right or wrong time. It's not like selling Christmas trees where, on the 26th it's done, it's over. That could be relevant any time of year to almost anybody. Now they might not be selling their business, but it's still appropriate to ask and open that door to have a
Yeah.
conversation. And I think I really do believe that that multi-channel approach would work for almost any business,
Yeah.
and I think that the best ones are doing it. I think that you just need to be cognizant of again what you're saying,
Right.
like and a big reason why we're doing what we're doing right now is creating content, right? So sometimes if I'm not reaching out, if I'm reaching out to private equity groups who are maybe more clients of ours than they are um someone that we're going to buy a business from. Now we do occasionally, but at the end of the day that could be more of a, hey, I'm reaching out to make a connection, to let you know what we do right
Right.
now. And but the purpose of it is that so now we're connected, so that when I make content like this, they see it. And they might see it for a year before they reach back out to me. But I've let them know who we are, why we exist, why I reached out without asking them for anything,
Right.
and then created things for them to see over and over and over again every time they use that platform. So one day we might be relevant. One day someone might give us, shout our name from a mountain because they closed 3 businesses, and that person's like, I need them to do that for me, and
Right.
they reach back out.
Right.
And so as long as you have a method to the madness, it could be to do direct sales, it could be solely for marketing, it could be just to cultivate people to look at your content. But that multi-channel approach, combining it with the right message and just doing it literally every day, is just a recipe for success.
Yeah. I think too where people get frustrated with, oh, it doesn't work is it's very rare that you're going to have a company that can sell start to finish through cold outbound. It's a door opener, right? Like it gets our foot in the door
Right.
and then we got to kick it open and find out the rest. And I think a lot of people try it and they go, nah, well, I didn't get any sales in 60 days. It's like, well, did you get connections and conversations? And what are you doing after someone connects? Are you providing them content or are you just expecting them to buy your thing, you know, out of the blue, off the shelf with no questions asked? It's a
Right.
really hard thing to do, you know?
Right.
So we use it as a sales tool, but it's really just to just crack that door open for us and then let us get in there with our, you know, the human touch and the personality. Um, what are some of your pet peeves on the cold outbound? Because we get, I mean, if I open my LinkedIn right now, I bet you I have 20 connection requests coming at me and
I mean,
emails.
I'm definitely somebody that doesn't I have no time to read 5 paragraphs. Like,
Yeah,
not that I'm too busy to. I don't even make time for it. I never want to.
yeah.
So if you hit me with a cold outreach that's 5 paragraphs long, and it could be that I'm going to give you $1 million,
I'm not gonna read
I'm
it.
not going to read it.
Yeah, I'll
So
miss
I'm
out.
just not
Yeah,
going to read it. So I think you got to be short and sweet. Another one is that definitely the 5 messages in a row thing. I
yep,
think that that is obviously a clear sign of someone's no one's typing that out to me. They're using some sort of automation, which I'm not against using automation at all.
No,
But
it's the
it,
backbone of our
it's a,
company, you
no,
know?
no. I have
Yeah.
no. When people hate on it on LinkedIn, it's like, well, you're just not using it the right way,
Right.
or the people that are reaching out to you aren't using it the right way. And you can hate on that individual, but you don't have to hate on the art of it, because there
Right.
is an art to it, And I think that I don't know. Those are two things that drive me crazy. What about you?
Mine's the immediately asking for, hey, if you just have a 15 minutes to schedule a call. It's like if we answered all of the, if you just have 15 minutes, you'd be booked for a whole month,
Yeah,
So
yeah,
before you ask me, like, let's decide if we have common ground,
right,
So I think one thing we do in our message is, here's what we do. Do you think it makes sense for us to talk?
right,
Not, here's my calendar, schedule a call with me. Like, are you open to it first?
right.
It might say, no, I've had guys reach out and go, hey man, I'm closing my fund next month. At the end of the year, we're liquidating everything. No reason to talk. Great. Good luck in retirement. But
Yeah,
if I hit him with, hey, do you have 15 minutes to talk? He's not even going to respond to that.
no,
So being cognizant of people's time, and like, your cold email is the least important thing in their day.
right.
And your LinkedIn message is the least important thing in their day. So make it good, but don't get frustrated if, there's not an immediate response, or if you have to follow up, and just be cognizant of people's time. And the other one I hate is I get reached out to by trainers. I don't know if it's because I look like a fat guy in my LinkedIn profile, but like, you can't decide you want to be my trainer on a cold LinkedIn message. You don't know anything about me.
No.
Like, that's one thing. My wife's a world champion powerlifter. I'm still fat. I don't need a trainer, you know?
No.
Like, stop
No,
stop reaching out
you
to me.
have a built-in trainer at
Yeah,
home.
and I don't use her. So I'm not going to use you. you
Right.
know?
Well, there's no height and weight filter on
Right.
LinkedIn, so I don't even know where they're like, how are they doing this?
Right. Yeah.
Or I work with this specific like this specific type of person. Joe, I noticed that you're in real estate, and it's just like, I'm not, but
Right.
I had a job there once
Yeah,
7
your
years ago.
targeting sucks.
Your
That's another
targeting
reason.
sucks.
Yeah.
Um, but we work with people in real estate on
Yeah.
providing fitness services. It's like, what the
Well,
fuck does
like,
that
but
mean?
we know, right? All they did was take a token and put in, we work with people in insert industry, and we do insert, job title for CMOs, for CEOs, for CFOs. And we know that that's just a recipe,
Right.
So it's like, you're shooting yourself in the foot with those type of
But it's like,
messages.
do you do that? Like,
Right.
I'm sure
Yeah.
you have clients that
Why
are
do you do it for real estate? What's so special
it's,
about that?
it doesn't make any sense.
No,
Well,
but it works. At the end of the day, it works when you do it right. And I mean, the proof's in the pudding for us. Like,
I think if you can learn to do it right, it will change everything.
yeah,
I think that the people that are just solely hating on it on some of these platforms aren't doing I mean, they're probably the ones that are smart enough and capable enough to figure out how to do it the right way, but they're not. And
yeah,
so my ask to someone like that would be, well, learn more about it first. If you do have something, because it probably can provide value to your business if you're not using something like that right now. Um, so learn about it, because
yeah,
plenty of people are doing it really effectively, and the reason why it's working is because you're not noticing. You're not noticing the automation
right,
piece of it. You're
right,
just getting the message, and
right.
it's resonating with you. And how many times do we get on the phone with people and we're like, well, this is the reason we're on the phone. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like, with some of our clients, we built this machine that reaches out to people, and it reached out to you, and now here we are. And they're like, oh, I thought that was
yeah. I mean,
completely personal.
we work with, right now, whatever day it is, we have 24 funds that are on our roster. I think 23 of them were cold.
I would agree.
You know,
Yeah.
I think one of them was just our first client that we knew, and that was it.
And these are people that have time for nothing,
Yeah, yeah.
So
Have time for nothing.
if you do it the right way, they'll answer,
Right,
you know?
right. But yeah, it works. And we're gonna keep doing it, and we're scaling because of it.
Yep.
We're able to really put our business on steroids because we figured out that recipe.
Definitely.